It's a
All
drinks.
right, you should be good to go now.
Are you live though?
Nope. Should be in a second. Let me go back out because I already got two people in here. Jason in here.
All right.
So let's see.
Just waiting for Kelvin to start it all off.
Yeah, I know, right? Give me a sec. Let me see.
Starts our show.
Boom, you on?
Okay, I'm good.
Yay!
All right, well, you know it's not showing up on mine, but all right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's the beginning of the year, so happy New Year's to everybody. Lottie-dottie, everybody. So once again, my name is Cal. You can follow me on Handlebars and Cigars on both Instagram and on YouTube. And to my far left, we have...
Will Hart from the world famous Cigars.
Not the world's famous Cigars.
Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Either my name or the Cigars exclamation point.
Now, look, we got a treat for everybody today. We have Mr. Joey Weaver.
That's it.
There you go, from the second world's famous cigar shop here in Indian Trails, North Carolina. So he's going to talk to us a little bit about some cigars, some adult drinks, and this kind of fellowship and what have you. So first and foremost, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Really happy to be here.
Yes, yes, happy for you to be here too as well. So before we get started, we want to give you kind of an opportunity to kind of bring us up to speed. What's been going on with you? I tell you, my first question is this. What drew you to the cigar, and that being your passion?
Right. So it happened. So I started smoking cigars in 1998. I was 18 years old. That was back when the government thought an 18-year-old could make that decision. And I grew up with a buddy down the street whose dad had a 69 GTO Judge.
Ooh.
The hood-mounted tack on it, the Ram Air. It was a carousel red. It was right.
It was cherry.
Every weekend, he'd be out messing with it, and he'd be smoking cigars.
Okay.
And just some of my
Can you
best
see me,
memories
Jason?
growing up, we're just
You can see
running
me?
around, playing with my buddy,
I
and
can
then
see
we got
him.
a little older, helping his dad do some stuff and all of that while he was smoking cigars. Now, most of what he smoked was machine-made stuff. They were the Anthony and Cleopatra Grenadiers and all of that.
But was it the smell of the cigar?
It was absolutely the smell of
How many
the
people we
cigar.
have on? 5?
Okay.
So then, turned 18, went and bought what he bought, because that's what you do.
Because that's what you...
And I didn't know any better.
Uh-huh.
So, to somebody that doesn't know any better, I'm like, I guess this is what a cigar is. And then smoked those for a while, bagged groceries at the Harris Teeter in the Arboretum,
Oh, really?
back when there was a cigar store inside the Harris Teeter.
Wow.
Before they moved around the corner.
Yeah, I remember that.
Before he who shall not be named moved around the corner, they were inside the Harris Teeter.
Yep.
And there were a couple really good guys that worked there. With me coming in as a college student, they could have treated me like a punk kid.
Right.
But I went in and said, I know I like smoking cigars, but I don't feel like I know anything about cigars. And probably 50% of my paycheck went to, we'll say back then, the tinderbox.
Right.
Yeah.
And Richard and Jody. I don't know whatever happened to Jody. I think Richard just passed here in the last year or two.
Oh, wow.
Drove for FedEx during the day. Worked at that tinderbox at night. Cut me a deal on my very first humidor. Would save stuff for me. Would educate me. Would tell me about them.
So you had kind of like a mentor.
I had a couple good mentors in that, and I've always kind of felt like that's the difference, because the government's against us.
Right.
The government's against this hobby. The nanny state, whatever you want to call it, like they're always trying to tax it, regulate it, and do all of this. But if we treat these young kids coming in like they're an annoyance, where's the next generation that's going to speak up for us?
Yeah,
Fight
exactly.
for us,
Yeah.
and push back against the legislation, educate people the difference between cigarettes and premium tobacco.
They're gonna go to hookahs and vapes.
That's it. And you've gotta, and I've just always kept that passion that when some kid comes in and says, man, it's my 21st birthday today, I've always wanted to smoke a cigar. Rather than just be like, oh, here, try Monte Cristo, there's something you've heard of.
Right.
Like, take the time to find, it takes like 3 minutes.
Just to see their palate.
Get to know the kid. Talk to him. Like, is this your first cigar? Have you been doing stuff on the low?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what you like? Do you drink coffee? If you do, how do you take your coffee? You know, you can kind of dial in somebody's palate. And you really want that first experience to be a good one, not only for the cigar, but also with their tobaccos.
Yeah.
So that they're going to come back.
Right.
You know, it's not... There are lots of places to buy cigars.
Yeah, there are actually.
Yeah.
And lots of places you never have to set foot in or talk to a human being.
But there's also places I've gone in, and I walk right out.
Yeah, and
It's how you get treated at certain shops.
absolutely.
We talked about
want
that
you to-
customer service.
We want you to feel like you have a cigar guy,
Yes.
Right.
not a cigar store.
Correct.
Like, I work at a cigar store, I want to be your guy.
Yes. Yes.
So,
LEF to the guys out there in the audience, they know what I'm talking about.
and some of you, I guess, are in the video. We didn't even say what we're smoking.
Yeah, okay.
You and I are having
We are having the Oliva V, the Melanio, and actually this was a birthday gift from Will to me, celebrating my birthday a few weeks back. I finally hit a milestone, the big 6-0. Glad I made it. Hopefully I got a few more.
You better
have a few more laps around this track. But again, thank you for the gift. But and as you guys know, you follow me on the program, what have you, I love Olivas. So I'm a big Oliva guy, specifically the V's. I don't like too much of the other stuff.
Right.
But I just love the smoke. I've never had I've never had a bad one.
Here's the perfect part, because if it wasn't for Joey telling me which was the best Oliva V to get,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be in your hands. So thank you for that, Joey.
Okay, so that's what it was going for. You just said you had a buddy.
Yeah, that was the dude. Now, I would not have been mad at you if it was just a regular Oliva V.
No, I got you.
Yeah, of course.
You got me smoking an Oliva V.
Yeah. They're
mean,
very
that was
consistent.
shows ago.
To me, it's very consistent. I mean, people always rate these up in the low to mid 90s.
Yep.
I mean, the construction is great, the draw is great, and the flavors that you get throughout the cigar is great. It's kind of consistent. You're not going to get a big kick in the pants, towards the end, but it'll gradually give you a nice little build up.
It builds a little bit.
Yes.
It's a good full-bodied cigar without a lot of pepper.
Bam.
It's nice and smooth.
Yes.
So, what are you having, Joey?
I am having the Hoya de Nicaragua Antonio Gran Perfecto.
Wow,
That's a mouthful.
It is. I'll tell you, it's way outside of my normal ring gauge because it's a 660, and I
Okay.
normally tap out at 56.
Okay, not 90. Wait a minute.
No.
The April Fool's one.
April Fools from CLE. But we just got in a whole bunch of new sizes of Hoya, and I've been excited to try them because the Antonio's been a line that I've liked for a long time.
Okay.
I mean, people are like, oh yeah, Hoya. And I'm like, yeah, they've got some everyday stuff. Your Hoya
Yeah.
Reds, your Hoya Blacks, your Hoya Silvers.
Yep.
But they've also got that Antonio line, which is their premium line.
See, I like the Antonio.
The Antonio's a great
I
smoke.
really do. And, at the barn smoker, they hand you one of every.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can have this, you can have that, you can have. I was like, the Antonio, even the Connecticut or the CT Antonio.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good smoke.
That's a good smoke, and I'm not usually a Connecticut guy.
Same here.
With a few exceptions, I like the Antonio. I like the Esteban Carreras Cashmere. I think that's kind of nice and creamy. Got a little bit of nuttiness to it.
You know,
Goes
my
good when
favorite-
I take my coffee with a splash of half and half. In
My
it.
favorite of the Esteban line is the Chupacabra.
Which one? There's the Habano, the Maduro, the Hellcat, which is a
The
San
Maduro
Andreas,
and the
then
Hellcat.
10. Have you had the Chupa 10?
Yeah. No, not the Chupa 10. Yeah.
You need to.
Yep. Guess where I'm picking
That's their
up.
premium. That's kind of their top of the line. It's
Okay.
much richer.
So you're gonna say it's like a Liga?
It's not as complex as, say,
Okay.
a T52.
Right.
And it doesn't punch you in the gut like a 9.
Okay.
But it's got some of that same richness.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Now,
To it.
what's the comparison of that compared to like the Hellcat, Chupacabra, or like
The Hellcat's going to have a little bit more spice on it, a little bit lighter smoke, because it's a San Andreas, but it's not a super dark San Andreas.
Right.
That, that Chupetan is just like, it looks like a chocolate bar of 85%. You know, that 85%.
Yeah, the 85% chocolate.
Yes.
I got it.
Yeah. That's what that wrapper looks like. It's just deep, dark, oily, and rich.
Nice. Okay.
So we talked a little bit, Joey, off camera about something. I kind of want to bring this topic or this question to you to have you kind of, expand on it for everybody here. I know your background. I think you have multiple degrees. I think theology is one of them.
I've got a couple. I'm a one-trick pony. I've got 3 degrees. They're all in theology.
Okay.
I know 2 things well: theology and cigars.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm useless.
So what drew you actually to cigars? How did that become your passion? I know you talked a little bit about when you was in college and what have you, but when did the light go off and say, you know what, man, this is something I would like to do for a living?
So we had I'd actually found the cigar shop when they were down in Monroe off Skyway.
Gotcha.
Long time ago.
Okay.
Walk in there, had a good time. It was old enough that the one of the owners that is in politics now was still working the register like that long.
Damn.
He didn't have anything else to do. Had a great time, great experience. Small humidor, but you could tell it was a passion for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then life got busy. Grad school, all that kind of stuff. So I didn't go back. And then I went by one day and it was all shut down, and I'm like, well, man, that's the way it goes. It's tough for businesses, location, everything else. Well, I got a phone call a few weeks later that said, hey, you want to meet me at this cigar shop on 74? And I'm like, maybe. Sure. So I go, same guys. Same place. But
it's in the trailer.
It was in the trailer. The now infamous trailer. And it was actually a pretty dark period of my life, just because my wife and I had started caring for a terminally ill family member.
Oh, okay.
And I, unfortunately, that's just kind of the nature of this life. Nobody gets out alive.
Yeah.
So us and everybody we know are going to go through that at some point. Mm-hmm. But we were going through that. It was really devastating, just on the heels of another family disaster. And it's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you are the primary caregiver
Yep.
of someone with a terminal illness, it's a 24/7 kind of thing.
Yes.
So a couple times a week, our church was really great. There were people that were lined up, be like, hey, I know you need a break. We'll come over, we'll sit.
That's awesome.
We'll do that. And that was where I was going as kind of a refuge.
Gotcha.
I mean, that was my couple hours a week.
Yep.
Just escape.
Just I didn't have anything else to focus on.
Gotcha.
And then they passed. And then your core identity for the last year, for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is I've been taking care of this person.
Yeah.
Like, what now? I mean, it really is. It's like life started over and ended all at the same time.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, Nate was looking, they'd opened up the shop at South Myrtle, so he was having to be gone. Some stuff came up where he was going to need to be with his kids every weekend. So it started out that one of the other former manager, who at that point in time was just a regular Andy, grabbed Nate one day and said, what are you doing, man? Just you need a guy to run a cash register. You need a guy you don't have to train very hard. He can learn.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up, and I was working Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Nice.
Every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday for 2 years, I think.
Okay.
And it started to develop. After I'd been there a little while, he said, hey, we want you to take over the website. We want you to take over marketing. And I'm like, I don't do design. I don't do marketing.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we know. We trust you're smart enough to figure it out.
There you go.
To work with somebody that we trust.
Exactly.
And trust to figure it out than just bring in a hired gun that doesn't care. We've gone that route, didn't it?
Yep.
Right.
And then from there it grew, and then I took over the trailer for the last 6 months we were there, and I was the first manager when we opened up Indian Trail.
Okay.
And then after that, because my goal was never store manager.
Okay.
I like new problems. I like problem solving. I like how agile and dynamic a retail business can be. So after that, they made Andy the manager, and I was supporting all 4 stores, or 3 stores at that point.
Okay.
Would be 4 when we opened up Aberdeen in May of 2021.
Okay.
Still doing the internet, the web store side of things, doing the marketing side, and just kind of logistics and operations.
Okay.
So it's just a family. I mean,
So the family atmosphere.
the family atmosphere, and it's one of those things where I tell everybody, like, it's half retail and half bartender.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like I'm at a register and I will hear some of the most odd things, and then sometimes some of the most gut-wrenching things, because you don't realize how isolated some people are.
Yeah.
You know, I see a guy like, hey Joe, I hadn't seen you in a while. Me talking to this other customer, and he's like, my wife got sick, passed away, like just out of nowhere.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. When did this happen? A week ago.
Wow.
Are you okay, man?
Yeah,
Like, you know,
seriously.
you get all of that, or you hear people's backstories, or you find out all of these things, or you just, you know, guy had to have his dog put down,
Yeah.
broke up with his girl, marriage is on the rocks. Just all of these things where, you know, sometimes you feel more like a bartender than you do a guy in retail.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that's kind of what drew me into the shop more was, you all right? I'll get him some water in a minute.
No, you just can't breathe, Scott.
Now you can't.
It was so good he was trying to breathe it and drink it all at the same time.
He's trying to retro.
He's retro him with scotch. Huh?
Don't do that. No, but that's kind of what drew me into that shop in particular, because I've been to several other shops. It's that when you walk in, it's almost like that Cheers environment.
Yeah.
Like Norm. Everybody
yeah.
knows, you know.
Yeah.
And it's, like you said, it's kind of like family. And I get the whole bartending thing because I could sit in the back by the lounge and you hear some crazy shit half the time. You're like, what? And it's so true. It really is.
Yeah,
So I can see
yeah.
that bartender kind of aspect of it.
And I mean, I genuinely, because we're the adult candy store.
Yes.
If you're not in a good
100%.
mood, if you're not in a good mood when you walk in, it's my job to get you in a good mood before you leave. And you know, I'm not going to be telling jokes. I'm not juggling. I'm not there for your entertainment. But at the same time, it's like most of the time when people walk in, they're happy or they're relieved. Like, my day's over. I'm picking out something for my me time tonight.
Yep.
And I don't know. I'd say 65-70% of our customers I can call by name.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Even
I mean,
yeah.
me, when I walk in, I see the same old faces. That's why I
Yeah.
mentioned Cheers.
Yeah.
It's like the same faces.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's going on? You know.
Well,
Well,
tell-
I mean, for a 7-day-a-week operation, we run that with 7 people. I mean,
That's
and a
amazing.
couple of those only work like 6 hours a week.
Wow.
So I mean, it's we strive for consistency,
Uh-huh.
and we are very fortunate. We're blessed that everybody that works there because they want to,
Correct.
not because they have to.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So then, as management, it's our job to keep it fun because they don't have to be there.
Right.
Well, that's one of the big difference you get from, I would say, a chain versus like a mom and pop.
Yeah.
You know, mom and pop brings that welcoming atmosphere, in my opinion. And like you hit it right on the head, and that's how I feel when I walk into your store. You know, I feel, I don't feel like a customer.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like almost coming to like a family reunion type of deal. I'm not. You guys are not pushy. You're not rushing. You're not standing over top of me, walking around in the humidor. That's one of the things, and I won't mention the other shop's name, but they are a chain. As soon as I walk in the humidor, you know,
Got somebody popping in right behind you.
out of convenience, this guy now got to stock shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And when I walk out, just so happens out of convenience, he's back at the register. You know.
Oh, I've been there too.
Yeah. I feel
There's
like
certain
I feel
shops
like
that
taking
just-
some cigars and just knocking it down on the floor and saying, give you something to do besides watch me.
Yeah.
While I'm in here doing my business. So, that's one of the things that kind of struck me with you guys down in your shop. That element, and like I say, 70 to 80% of the people that walk in there, which is good too.
And I personally think that family atmosphere starts with the staff.
It does.
They've got to have it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then it all trickles down. Like our owner got married recently.
Right.
I was the official at the wedding.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
So
talk about family.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, he was like, hey,
Wow.
I'm like, hey man, I'd be honored.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, that is cool.
That is good. Yeah.
No, but seriously, like when you walk through your humidor and they kind of just let you browse, but at some point they're like, is there something I can help you with?
Exactly.
And that's what I always loved about you guys, because you're like, well, what do you like to smoke? Like when we first met, I remember, well, what do you like to smoke? Have you had this? Have you had that? And they kind of guide you through things. And I know it's like my taste and palate has expanded simply because of you guys.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, we know you like Drew Estate, but have you tried this? This is just like that. Why don't you give this a chance? And like the other day, Michael was like, try this tampon. I'm like, what? Hey, I'm not even joking. It's a cigar with a white wrapper on it.
Yeah, it's wrapped in white tissue. We're not graded. Well, I mean, maybe we are graded. But, you're there so much, something will come in, and it gets a name.
You got a comment?
It gets a name right off of the bat.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Hey, man. Hey, Melanie.
Also,
the wife shout out said, that's my man.
That's it.
Also got a question from Douglas. Said there was a debate on the Oliva V or the Oliva 5.
I see that.
Which one?
I'm going to say V all day, every day.
There you go, Doug.
But I'm going to have Joey chime in on that one.
I mean, I'm going to go with V because I've never seen an Oliva 3.
No, 5. No, leave it. No. It's the Oliva V.
Does that mean, is it the Oliva V or is it supposed to be 5?
I'm
going with V.
I'm going
because
V.
I've seen Oliva 3.
Yeah. I think what he's saying is the V is the Roman numeral
for
5. Yeah.
I've always called it the Oliva V.
Me too. I call it the Oliva V.
I've always called it Oliva V.
Me too. V stands for victory.
I'm not the end-all, be-all in the cigar world. Matter of fact, one of the things that Andy and I said a lot, like, we don't want cigars turning into the wine world where you got a couple snobs telling you what you should.
Oh my God, no.
Because all you need to know is what's good for you.
Yeah.
And I'll ask somebody and they're like, I know it's not an expensive cigar, but I just like these. And I'm like, you don't need to.
Yeah,
you don't need to justify
exactly.
It's your money.
Exactly.
It's your money and it's your free time.
And we talked about that.
We have.
I mean, shoot, $6 cigar.
Right, for that tampon.
Yeah,
and we were surprised.
Yeah.
It's a great smoke.
It was off the chain.
You guys can laugh all you want. We're still going to be calling it the tampon.
See, I'm sure that like Forged Cigars isn't real thrilled with that. But I mean, it might go viral, so maybe they will. Sorry, Ed. But the El Rey del Mundo that's wrapped up in tissue paper that looks like a certain hygiene product is a great smoke for. It's not just a great smoke for the money. It's a great smoke.
Period.
It also happens to be very budget friendly.
Yes.
When you're dealing with, I don't know, how many months into inflation are we?
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. And somebody can walk in there and be like, hey, I need to get a gift from my pops. He smokes cigars. I don't have a lot. And I'm like, it's okay.
Give him these tampons and take the tissue off.
Hold on, Corey says he's going to try his tampon this weekend. There you go, Corey.
I can find you a good cigar at any price point.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, look at the Papa Fritas, which are like
Yeah.
$5 or $6.
$5 or $6. Yeah.
Short filler Liga.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, like, a good deal for the money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So check this out. We over here talking about different cigars, and I'm gonna hit you up with the same question we ask everybody that come on this show. Joey, can you give us your top 5 dead or alive cigars?
I can. Do I in order or just?
No, don't have to be in order.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to, put one up against the other. But boom, if you was on a desert island, you got 5 sticks
to take with you.
With you.
I hear you. So let me start with the things you can't get in this market.
Okay.
What?
No, you can say I'm a little loud.
No, his mic is in his.
Oh, okay.
My mic is in my face.
All right.
Is this better? All right.
All right. Shout out to the studio audience.
That's right.
For getting us right.
Your tech.
Yeah.
Executive producer.
Our producer.
Give him producing credit.
Shout out there. He gets a producer credit, Jason. But go ahead. Top 5 dead or alive.
Monte Cristo Open,
Okay.
Cuban made. Phenomenal. I mean, just phenomenal.
Okay.
Yeah. I love a number 2.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Monte Cristo number 2.
It
Yes.
beats the number 2 around the block.
What?
Oh, yeah. If you're ever outside of the country and you're traveling and you know that it's the real deal,
Yep.
do yourself a favor and try the Monte Cristo Open series. It's in a bunch of different sizes. The 60 ring is called the Eagle.
Right.
That's the one I had, even though I don't smoke 60s.
Right.
All day long.
Really?
All day long. I've had it in the little size. I think it's either the Rieta or the Regatta. I forget which.
Okay.
Phenomenal in that size too. So Monte Cristo Open.
Okay.
Upman Epicure number 2.
Oh, the up.
Also Cuban.
Whoa. Okay.
And then get to some stuff that we can actually
Yes.
find.
Yeah.
Liga Privada T52 in the Corona Viva.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
In the
Okay.
Corona Viva size. I'm a small ring gauge guy,
Okay.
which is going to make my next pick sound really weird. But it's the Roma Craft Neanderthal HM.
I like.
It's the one that's shaped like a caveman's club. They went that Neanderthal.
Yeah.
They went with that Neanderthal.
I've
thing.
never seen that.
You've never seen that.
No.
I have, and I didn't get a chance to buy it.
Wow.
It's a so it's a San Andreas Maduro wrapper over, I think, a broadleaf binder with Nicaraguan filler.
Okay.
It's, I mean, put on your big boy pants.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's phenomenal smoke. I used to
So-
hate myself, and that used to be my 6 a.m. walking the dog cigar.
So when
on
you
an
say,
empty stomach.
when you say put on your big boy pants,
Yeah.
I think the full bodiest cigar I've smoked is that LFD Colorado. How's that compared to the Caveman Club?
The Neanderthal, I think, is a little more nuanced because and I might be wrong on this, but I don't think there's any Lajero in it, and that's what that Colorado, that's what LFD's made for, is
Right.
that big bruising Lajero. So it's very nuanced. On a cold draw on it, you're going to get a lot of floral
Okay.
and everything else, but it just, I mean, it sneaks up on you, and it's a good, nice, full-bodied hit. So let's see, we're up to 4, so now
Yeah.
I'm going to round it out to 5. Gosh.
It's going through his.
Yeah, it's because by nature of what I do, I smoke
I know.
almost everything that comes in.
Yes.
I tell you, I'll go with the sentimental one because it was the first box of premium cigars I ever bought,
Okay.
and that's the Espinosa Wasabi.
Oh yes, the Espinola. Yeah. Oh, the
The
wasabi.
Wasabi,
No, the green ones.
the Candela.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I know. It hurt.
Because I had the
It hurt
Espinosa.
in
Yeah.
all the right places.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
Oh.
And
I expected more from it.
I'll tell you what my experience was with it was.
Listen, but I'm not
And I've
knocking
told
your
this-
time.
No, exactly.
I've told this to Jack Tarania. I said my biggest beef with the wasabi is every other one I smoked, the construction was terrible. But on that half, that everything was working right.
Yeah.
It started out with a big dose of pepper and spice,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then kind of developed, and you had that Candela wrapper that not a lot of people were working with at that point in time, that just really gave it, and that was my first box of premium cigars I ever purchased.
Wow. Now I like the Espinosa, the one that got. I think that the band is like look like a bat.
Murcielago.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which means the bat.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, and Douglas had a thing that he wanted to put in. He said, frustrating when somebody says, it's a great smoke for the money, because we all have to spend big money on a stick based on reputation, and we're disappointed. A great smoke is a great smoke. Full
Correct.
stop.
Yep.
I agree with that,
And we
Douglas,
agree.
to a point.
Right.
Because my expectations for a $20 cigar are
Yes.
than my expectations for a
From-
$5, $6.
Yes.
Yes,
Very
this is true.
So I feel you. I feel you, but I think there's room for some nuance.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Corey did say, Kel said, period. After we mentioned it.
Corey also
I
said
love Corey, man.
Corey said the LFD, was it Ligero?
Ligero,
Yeah.
yeah.
For days.
The LFD makes some great
See,
stuff.
I think we can actually
Yes.
see it
Yes.
up on the big screen.
Yes.
I'm gonna kill your decanter.
Kill it.
I'm
Just
sorry.
kill it, bro. We're
You
good.
invite me over and I just drain the thing.
Hey.
Hey, that's what it's there for.
Hey, at least I brought my own cigar. I came with more than just a habit.
But you're not leaving empty-handed either.
No,
so
I'm not.
We're good. We're good, bro. We're good. Speaking of cigars, which is what we do, I know you and I are on the same level with Lanceros.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you had to pick your number one Lancero. Would I have to say top two, top three? Could you, like, if you had just the minimum amount of Lanceros to pick from, which are your go-tos? Because I know mine.
What's yours?
And I
Now-
know it's not a Phineas Gage.
Now, for some of the people out there that's listening, the Lancero's the real thin, almost like a pencil.
Yeah, it looks like a pencil.
Yeah, it looks like a pencil.
Yeah, what are they? I mean, they're like maybe a 40 ring gauge, maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean-
like mid-30s to 40.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really thin.
Yeah.
They are. They're
Um,
usually what, 6 and change or 7 by.
Yeah, it's usually 7 by
Yeah.
something. Although, what was the Drew Estate 8? Wasn't that like a 9 by 40?
Was it a 40? I thought the A was a little fatter than that. I
It
thought
could've
the
been
A
a
was
little fatter,
almost
yeah.
a long Churchill.
Kinda, yeah, but
Because
it's not.
the A's kind of a size all of its own, because LFD also makes an A that's that same size.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've got it at the shop.
Okay.
I
So
didn't
there's
know
a few
that.
things I gotta pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So L40 would definitely be one of my top 2.
I was gonna say the
The
L4.
L40.
Yeah, that's.
Just got my hands on a Hoya Antonio Lancero.
Are you carrying those at the shop?
We will be. The
I'm
box
down.
the box that we got may have disappeared suddenly.
It grew legs.
No, we had so there was a customer we had that was telling us about it for months, and you know, as a retailer, you always got to play these kind of games, and we needed to order some stuff that we never ordered from Drew Estate before because we need to fulfill our obligations. Drew Estate's been very good to us, and that was on the list. And I said, don't even think about it. Order, because I mean, I get rid of it.
Yeah.
And his birthday is Christmas Day.
Wow.
So I decided, Nate and I actually bought half of that box for him
Nice.
and gave it to him for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
And then the other half of the box disappeared into my locker. My altruism only goes so far. But
Love it.
I will say that I would put it up against an L40. I would say it's 75-80% is good.
Wow.
But Douglas, to your point, it's got to factor in. It's 85% is good, but it's like $11.
Wow.
That's a good price point.
Yeah.
I mean, it sure beats the price point of that Davidoff late hour I got.
Really?
But that late hour is such a good.
Oh, it is a good.
And I say that.
Yeah.
I say that with no ulterior motives because we currently do not carry Davidoff.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That MSRP for that was like $26.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's gone up a little since I bought it,
Yeah.
but it's phenomenal. Because what is it? It's just like a couple leaves
Yes.
that they age
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
Scotch barrel.
Yeah.
And
I'm
it's just
telling you, man.
nuance on
I'm telling
nuance
you.
on nuance.
See, he's gonna bring me to like.
I already did. I mean, you just put in my thing again.
No. But it's like how he transitioned me into like Oliva V's. Or Oliva 5.
Yeah.
I'll never call it V again.
Yeah, right.
Now we're gonna call it the 5.
Yeah.
I
$5
have a new
football.
favorite thing to go when I'm out of town and I'm at a new cigar shop. I'm like, I need to see your Oliva 3s.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the 5s, but I don't roll like that. Where are the 3s?
Yeah, we're the threes.
Oh man, I love it.
So you also mentioned off camera, and that kind of brought up another question for me. What are some of your rare cigars that you have in your personal humidor?
For my personal humidor,
Correct.
rare cigars.
That you've actually smoked?
Yeah, they don't stick around. Oh, you mean that I've smoked, not that's
Yeah.
sitting there now. Okay.
Correct.
Oof. See, a lot of my rare ones end up being rare because of age. Because most people just don't wait. So we were talking off camera. I had one of the original release of Drew Estate's Feral Flying Pig. I think it was 2010, 2011 that came out. Had one of those last year. Had about 10 years on it. Phenomenal smoke. About half as strong as it used to be, 4 times the flavor. Just a flat out amazing cigar.
I'm at these.
Well, you know I am.
Hey, please.
Hey, anybody with a Feral Flying Pig and a decade to kill can do the same thing.
Yeah, that's
Like a
true.
time capsule.
Yeah, you're aging cigars.
I don't know.
last
I've got a
5 minutes.
love-hate relationship with rare stuff because I like to smoke it to say that I have.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I don't want to find out the best cigar I'll ever have is one I can't get again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our biggest issue. We
That's
talked
the
about it
dilemma.
before.
Yeah.
Remember, especially when the Padron, when we did that.
Yes.
Number one, we couldn't find out where the hell it was from,
No.
or I should say, who made
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And then we find out it is Padron.
Yeah.
And it was made in DR, in Santiago,
Yeah.
by like this small shop owner.
Yeah.
You know, he's got like a crew of like maybe 3 to 5 people.
That's it right there. Yeah.
And that barber pole smoke, I mean, it blew us away.
Yeah. Yeah, it really did.
I'll tell you one that I love, and I wish I could remember the name of it. I call it the Little Debbie because it's Swiss roll.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
No
I
kidding.
had a very good friend of mine that was flying through, and I think he had a layover in Geneva, and he went to a cigar store there, and they had one that it's all Nicaraguan tobacco, but it's manufactured and rolled in Switzerland.
No.
Wow.
It's got this little blue piece of yarn that they tie into a bow on it, and it looks like so it was dark and it was Swiss, so I called it the Swiss roll and started calling it the Little Debbie. We've already talked about nicknames
Nice.
here.
Yeah, nicknames. Went through
Never
that
heard
last
of
week.
it. Never heard of it before. Phenomenal. In my top 10.
Wow.
To the point where I'm like, so the next time you go to Switzerland,
Find a cigar with a little bow on it.
shoot me a text and I will like Cash App or Zelle you the money and just pick up a
Wow.
box.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, just phenomenal. And just like that's the one thing I love about this hobby is there's always something
Yes.
new to try.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially some of those boutique type of cigars we like to call them.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, and I mean,
categorized.
there's a huge argument about what is and what isn't a boutique.
Yes.
You know, are you a boutique?
See, now that brings up a question for me. What makes it a boutique?
I don't know if there's a standardized definition in the
the
industry.
run. Yeah, you know the amount of sticks they had.
Maybe the amount
What
of
was that? Yeah,
sticks.
what was that? The stick we had that was in limited production. I think one of you guys from Facebook.
But I mean, does that
Get
make up
them.
a sex a boutique because
Yeah,
it's
I know.
limited? And I wouldn't call Flinte a boutique manufacturer by any stretch of the
Right.
imagination.
But that. See, I've always
Is
had.
Ashton a boutique because they don't have any fields or factories? They get that
Outsource,
done. They
yeah.
outsource that to other people. You know, is Romacraft a boutique?
Yeah.
Because they've committed to only make 1 million and change of cigars a year.
Okay.
They've just capped it.
Yeah.
The quality control.
Right.
But they've got fields and factories. So, like, what is
Yeah.
a boutique is kind of a moving target.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of everything. You know, to be honest. You know, I think Doug had a question up here.
No. Did he?
Was that up
I
there?
didn't see it come in. Hold on. What's.
The Hoya Cabinetto Lancero.
Yes.
I have not had the Cabinetto Lancero, but I enjoy the Cabinetto. We just got the Cabinetto Robusto in. And actually, my wife smoked it, and I have not.
Oh.
Yeah, and Corey said that Oliva has a 3, the Master Blend series.
It should.
Oh, they do.
That was the one I think Jason picked up. Does it have like a little ring at the end of it?
Why are you asking me? Ask Corey.
Oh
He's the one-
well, shit. I mean, he's listening, right?
Yeah, he listening.
I can look at you and he can still listen, right?
It is the amplified.
That is right. That was right.
Nah, that was a 170. 5th.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad.
So, yeah.
What's the craziest way you've either cut a cigar or lit a cigar?
Oh, I feel like you've done some research on this.
Yeah, we did a little bit.
Hey, if I'm having guests, I gotta know. A
I
little
mean,
bit.
yeah, I've done, now as far as cutting cigars, I don't have to get too crazy on it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in the 80s, big fan of the A-Team. If I got a handle of a cigar and bite the
Bite
end
it
off
off?
of it, I can get it done.
Okay.
But, so it was around the same time that I found the cigar shop, you know, caring for a terminally ill family member, all of
Right.
that. My wife and I have, we were fortunate enough to be able to keep our first house as a rental property.
Oh, nice.
So, single girl renting it, one of my wife's best friends. So in the early days, I was doing her lawn maintenance for her as a favor to me.
Okay.
Because that was, you know, I could line up somebody to sit with the family member, and I could get out there, I could put on my ear pro, put in my AirPods, listen to my music.
Yes.
And have a steak.
And it's about 8/10 of an acre, no trees, no nothing.
Oh, nice.
So it takes you a while to mow it.
Yeah.
And I got out there, she wasn't home. I'm in my little commuter car, which is an 05 Civic, with no cigarette lighter. And I get there with my cigar, and I've got a Not Your Father's root beer,
Okay.
and no lighter. And I'm like, this is my 1 hour this week, man. This can't go down like this. I gotta figure this out. And I've got a 48-inch walk-behind lawnmower. And I don't know a lot about science, but I know enough. So I thought about it, and I thought, I've burned my hand on a lawnmower muffler before.
Okay. How about a lighter? Have you burnt your hand on a lighter?
I have.
I know a couple people burnt their hands. One got a bandage wrapped around it, but yeah, he lifted his hand up.
Of immediate concern, I thought, if it'll burn me,
It sure as shit.
it'll light a cigar.
Yeah.
So I had my cigar, and I got that lawnmower running, and the muffler on that 48-inch walk behind was right there, and I just stuck it on there flat and waited for the smoke.
Boom. Boom. Hey,
So I will tell you, if need be, you can light a cigar
There you
off a
go.
muffler.
the quote,
If you're in a, you know what's that saying? If it's stupid but it works, it ain't stupid.
there you go. The quote, Gunny Highway from Heartbreak Ridge, you adapt, you can, you overcame.
That's
You
it.
overcome. Adapt and overcome.
Hold on,
So-
I got one thing.
Yeah.
Corey said, Switzerland, is it a Davidoff rolled cigar or a Villager cigar?
Corey, my understanding is it's neither.
Okay.
I mean, if there's anything that classifies as a boutique, my understanding is this would be it. I think they roll a few hundred to maybe 1,000 boxes of that a year, period.
Wow. It's that limited.
I am assuming. I wasn't
got you, I
there.
got you.
So I don't think it didn't. If it's a Davidoff rolled cigar, I want to know where they're getting the tobacco, because Davidoff doesn't produce anything with that much body.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's good
Now
to know.
maybe under their Camacho line that's Davidoff owned, they do.
Okay.
But with a Davidoff label on it, nothing they produce is that strong. And I'll say the same thing about Villager. Nothing that they produce had that kind of bite to it.
Okay.
Because it was all Nicaraguan tobacco, but man, it was delicious.
Wow. And then we've got Corey again saying the golden green band with the number 3 on the band. I guess that's the Oliva.
That's the leave it 3, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Douglas asked, Scuba smoking the egg?
Who?
I've
Okay.
never smoked an egg. I've seen one smoked.
Okay, but
By the
was it
USA
scuba?
Red.
Did he do it scuba style? Did Will do it scuba style?
I am assuming
Where he cut the
scuba
middle
style- yeah,
and lit
he
both
punched
ends?
the middle and lit both ends. Yeah.
Okay. So
Wow.
Will McFall's done it.
Oh, wow.
I do have an egg because I figured
Yeah.
I need to buy one.
Which kind of egg? Because they made them in a few
The
different
Larotan.
sizes. The Larotan? Yeah.
Yeah. So because I don't mind the Larotan natural.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna smoke something that obscure and weird, it's better be something that I like.
Right.
So I also debated, do I cut it the way he did it, or do I light one end and just let the small piece go to the egg and then come back down? You know,
Probably gonna
it's like I'm debating.
enough time
so
to read
we'll
that
do
off,
Easter.
but appreciate
I
you.
got
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I want to be here for that.
Yo, you're gonna have to be, man.
Yeah, no. So if it were me, I would. I mean, I would just hold it in the middle and light
Lay one in, right? Okay.
and go for it. Just because I feel like at some point, what do
Both-
you do?
yeah,
if
what
both
do you do
ends
when it
are-
closes in
are
on your
burning
face?
in? I mean, you can get a nub tool.
Right. But still,
yeah.
you got like that big ball in front of you right now.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are you puffing, really?
Right.
So,
you're gonna pass.
I
that
have
out.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times, well, in my experience, a lot of times when I go out and venture off to different locations, let me sit up because you probably can't hear me, in different locations and ask people about, cigars and, what sort of profiles you get from a particular smoke. Really heard some colorful.
Are we doing this again?
Yes.
Are we bringing it back?
Have you?
Man, we're bringing back episode 3.
Yes, Corey. I mean, Joey. Have you ever described a cigar to a potential customer as having flavors of leather and wolf?
Leather, yes.
Okay, I understand the leather part.
Yep. Wolf, no.
Right.
Because I've never tasted a wolf. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have to refer it.
See, this is
I
the
was
best part.
I was dazed when the guy told me.
You were dazed
Yes.
about the wolf.
He's in the back.
Yeah, we rolled out with
Tastes like me.
Yeah, we rolled out a couple of buddies, ride bikes with. We went to this event, and the guy was, all right, man, I'm getting ready to get these cigars. I said, tell me a little bit about the cigar. He's like, oh, he's going to have,
He dropped one.
yeah, it's going to be flavors of leather and wolf. I'm like, huh, wolf? Are you kidding?
How long ago was this?
It was this past summer.
Yeah.
So the only thing I could think, the only way this makes sense to me is there's
A
Pravada.
full moon out.
There's Pravada Club. You
No.
may be aware of.
Okay.
It's a mail order.
Right.
What am I looking for? Box club.
Right.
Yep.
They had a cigar that was very highly regarded. That the only thing on the band was a wolf.
No wolf on the band.
I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if he was
Oh.
trying to describe it as it's leather and like this one that I got from,
Oh, okay.
So that had a wolf.
LCA. But that would be super.
That's
obscure.
really stretching.
Very.
I'm trying. I don't know
Very.
if he is, but
I know you're trying to help a fellow, cigar person out here, but you reaching for the fence on this
But
one.
now I tell you, one of the best palettes I know is Will Coop, Cigar Coop.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, who's this guy? I never heard of him.
Will Coop, he's an independent cigar journalist,
Okay. All right.
cigar media,
Shout out to Will. Cool.
very well known in the industry. I was down at the La Aurora factory a couple years ago. One of their cigars made his top cigars of the year list, and they had that plaque hung up right outside their executive smoking lounge.
Wow.
So really good guy. Lives here in Indian Trail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Yep. I am proud and honored to be able to say that he's a friend of mine. There is no far-flung place I can say I'm going on vacation that he can't point me to a cigar shop.
Wow.
I hit him up before I left. I've got some really dear friends that are in the Boise, Idaho area. And I said, I'm like, hey, Coop, I know this is a long shot. He's like, oh, you got to go to the vault. It's in Meridian. It's just one town
Jesus.
over.
Wow.
And, just nail on the head. Great spot. Shout out to the vault. Love my time there. Great selection. You would love it because the Pacific Northwest is Lancero country.
Yes.
I had the Aganorsa Anniversario Corojo Lancero there.
Oh, my God.
That was an amazing cigar.
I can imagine.
Wow.
That was an amazing
Wow.
cigar.
Wow.
That's deep right
I
there.
guarantee Will Coop ain't going to say, tastes like wolf.
He may say,
I mean, you never know.
hey, he may say coyote.
I think the craziest thing about my palate's just
a
not
jackal
refined
from
as
Kenya
that.
or something
He
like
did
that.
He did say that he smoked a cigar that had hints of marzipan.
Okay.
Marzipan.
But
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah, you and me both.
But hold on. Marzipan is like very popular in Germany.
I was like,
It's European candy,
it's a European
something.
candy.
oh, okay,
That's
all
what I
right.
know.
I thought it was like an
My mother
orangutan or
loves that
something.
crap. I can't stand it. It's like chewing on sand with some salt.
Okay.
Some
Like that-
It sounds so
Like that black
so
licorice.
delicious, so appealing. Yeah, exactly. Oh my lord.
Okay, all right. We gotta,
No, but
we
I'm
gotta keep that
kinda
in
curious.
mind.
Like we talked about it, and there was a couple of guys at the shop. Somebody had mentioned, oh, it tastes a little bit like hay and straw. Well, what the fuck are you smoking?
I don't know if I want to be smoking that.
Right, exactly, like hay and straw. Really?
But again, it's always
You got in the
subjective.
fields
It's always
earlier?
subjective.
It's always
I would say
subjective.
The Candela has a very grassy flavor to it.
Okay.
Okay.
All
The
right.
Candela.
All right.
Okay.
But if you're saying straw from, East Kentucky or something, it
Well,
just,
I will tell you something that I see a lot in cigar reviews are barnyard flavors.
yeah.
And I'm like, my wife owns a horse.
KFC.
I've never thought of that as something that I want to put in my mouth.
Right.
You know, anything I smell in the barnyard, like it's a certain, there's a certain calmness that comes with that smell because of what you associate it with and
Correct.
the time, with her horse and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like when I walk into a barnyard, I don't think,
Yeah, I want to put.
let's roll that up and smoke it.
Yeah.
I always said the KFC was kind of like that flavor.
Okay.
It's kind of when you have a KFC.
Or barnyard barbecue.
Yeah, well they
Outdoors.
have.
I always describe it
KFC
as
sweet.
smoking a campfire. Like it tastes like you picked up one of the logs in the campfire and started toking.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Almost
Yeah.
like a really peaty scotch.
Yes,
Like
100%.
a super
Super
smoky
peaty.
flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like I would have that cigar with a mezcal because
Okay.
it's got that smokiness to it also,
Okay.
and they just pair so well together. I know people are like, "Oh, do that and do the opposite of."
Mm-hmm.
No. I like that consistency of that smoky flavor, and then go outside and grill something.
Yeah.
So now I've got a question for you because you brought up mezcal. I was given for Christmas by a very dear friend a very, very nice bottle of tequila.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tequila, not mezcal.
Not mezcal.
Okay,
But it made me
tequila.
think of it.
Okay.
Because I've always, and I'm so ignorant. What's the difference? Is it like a brandy and cognac thing where all cognacs are brandies but not all brandies are cognac?
Cognac, exactly.
Is it the same kind of thing with mezcal and tequila?
Same concept.
Okay, right on. All right.
Using the same plants, produced differently.
Produced differently
well,
from a different region.
Correct.
From a
But
specific
also,
region.
but also, what they do with the agave plant is kind of like what the Hawaiians do with the pig, bury it.
Okay.
Same thing with the mezcal. They
Yep.
bury it, smoke it.
Okay.
That's what gives it that smoky flavor on a
As
mezcal.
opposed to a tequila,
As
which
opposed
is
to
going
tequila,
to be more
kind of distilled.
pure and
Yeah,
distilled.
exactly.
So, what kind of cigar would you smoke with a really, really good tequila?
And probably a KFC because it's that
Really?
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'd probably tone it down and do a Pappy.
Mm.
The Pappy cigar because it's a much smoother
Yeah.
flavor
'Cause
wise.
it's a
I call
it's
it a
an
tone
extra
down.
it's an extra añejo
Mm-hmm.
tequila, but it's just crystal clear,
Yeah, I would
dangerously smooth.
I would
So,
have
with-
it toned down with
Okay.
that Pappy.
With me, with the Pappy, I probably need to let it age a little more. Because I don't think I got the full Pappy experience. I know you bought some Pappies back from the
Yeah.
freestyle
Yeah.
event.
Gave you a bunch.
Yeah, I know, and I smoked
The
them all.
Barn Smoker event, not freestyle.
Yeah, barn smoking. And I smoked a bunch. So I probably,
I bet he did.
yeah, so
I bet he doesn't have one left, right?
I don't have a single,
No, wait. He probably does have one left here in his storage box.
I'm that baby's Pappy.
I'm that baby.
So I probably need to let it probably mature a little bit more to get that. Because I didn't really get what y'all saying with the Pappy I smoked.
Okay. Have you had the KFC yet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
It's basically the same thing,
Same
just
thing.
toned down.
Okay.
I remember I had this conversation.
And barrel fermented.
Oh,
Fermented
okay.
in a
Yeah,
barrel.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I had that conversation with Nathan a while back.
Yeah.
When you first got the Pappies back in the shop.
Yeah.
I was like, finally, I get to try one. And he goes, well, put it down. You've had it. I'm like, no, I haven't. He
Yeah.
goes, yeah, you have. I'm like, dude, I know what I buy at your shop. I haven't had it. He goes,
Mm.
it's pretty much the same thing. You buy KFCs all the time. It's the KFC just more mellow. and you're paying twice the price. I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna try it anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, he was 100% on that. And he's like, damn it.
But it is dialed down.
Yeah, it's a
not
dialed
as
down.
smoky,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not as smoky. It's a dialed down smoky version of a case.
Now, you mentioned the barrel fermented. I've had, and this actually was pretty good to me. I had the Camacho
Yeah.
barrel.
Yeah. Which one?
I think the band is black. I think it was a bronze.
It's been a while since we had
A
Camacho.
bur-
They
yeah.
had an American, and then they had the American was bourbon,
Yeah.
and they had the Nicaraguan that I think was rum.
Okay. I could only tell you what the color of the band was,
Okay.
but that thing was.
I feel like it was wrong.
I think it was rum. Yeah, that thing was so good. And like you said, I don't know why, but every time there's a cigar that I absolutely love, all of a sudden it's hard to find again.
Well, so how real do we get here?
We get real.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Camacho was Christian Aroa,
Okay.
who started the company. Christian Aroa now does Aroa Asylum CLE.
Okay.
He sold Camacho to Davidoff.
Okay. How long ago was this?
A while.
Okay.
Davidoff being Davidoff, they changed the blends to make it more profitable. Fair enough. Raised the price. So Camacho used to be a very good everyman cigar.
Yeah. I remember
That the minute that happened, every cigar increased in price to the point where it wasn't a working man's cigar. I love Camachos. I love Davidoff someday. Because my palate goes to the more full side, and there's just only a few things that Davidoff produces that kind of scratch
You heard me,
my
Mike.
And that's what
I'm not here to talk bad about anything.
No.
No, but that's what Kel was saying also, that I have to try this particular Davidoff because I'm like,
Bro,
Yes,
like there's,
I'm telling you, bro.
there was a period of time where I had about 5 sitting in my locker.
Yep.
What I decided is every vacation I went on, that's what I smoked that morning before I caught the flight.
okay.
Like that was how I started my vacation. So like we're gonna catch a flight either early the next morning or later that day, and I'm out walking the dog. Me and my dog walk almost every day. We do anywhere from 2 to 3 miles. Usually Melanie goes with me. When she doesn't, or when I had a schedule that meant that I was walking the dog at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, take a cigar with me.
Yeah.
So my vacation would start, get the dog on the leash, grab the late hour, cut it,
Wow.
ride it, and that's how I started my vacation. She's like, and somebody's like, you use a Davidoff as a dog walking cigar? And I'm like, well, not every day.
Hey, right.
Like, it's not like I send my driver in my Rolls Royce Phantom
Yeah.
once for the week or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
But like that was just how I got into vacation mode. Is I'm smoking this, I'm walking around, I'm taking my time. I might have a tumbler of coffee with me while I'm walking around the neighborhood, and I'm just getting my mind right, getting in that vacation mode. And by the time I hit the plane, like I'm already there. Like I'm already on vacation.
Love it, yeah.
Yeah.
Ritual's very important.
Oh, yeah.
I hear you.
Well, they say we're a creature of habit anyway.
That's it.
But
Yeah.
you know, that was the crazy thing with me because I brought down a ton of sticks to Dominican Republic when we went there for Thanksgiving. And the first place we were at, you can't smoke in this place. I'm like, anywhere? No.
Really?
Yeah.
So you went to the one place in the DR that they
Yeah, right?
I mean, that was very
You
my
managed.
experience.
Yeah. You managed to find that one place.
It may have had something to do because of who I was a guest of.
It might have.
Oh.
But
Who was your guest, though?
The owner of La Aurora
Oh, okay.
Cigars,
Yeah, that'll do
who
it.
also,
so my cousin's uncle.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that was a crazy experience. Like, you know, I'm talking to all these people. Like, I'm talking to Nate about how he went to Nicaragua and he looks out his window and he sees the cook chasing around a chicken, and then they have chicken for breakfast. And he was like, "Well, what was your trip down to Santiago like with La Aurora?" I'm like, "Very different." Very different. You know, like we got there, we landed, they met us. He also was the guy that used to own Presidente beer.
Yeah.
Before
No,
it was
that's
nationalized.
his brother. Frankie
Okay,
Leon.
same family?
Same family, Frankie
Okay.
Leon.
The same
No, because I
family,
met him
yeah.
at a wedding.
The same family used to own Presidente.
Yeah.
Before it was nationalized. I think the family
Correct.
still
Yeah,
runs
has
it.
they still have a portion
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. So they said, guys, been a long day of travel, grab a cigar out of the humidor, grab a beer out of the cooler, and there's this little airport shuttle thing that Cigar Company owns, taking us up to our hotel. And never been to the Dominican Republic before, don't know the geography. I mean, I know it's an island. I'm not completely idiotic, but I don't know how long we're going to be on this bus. They told me to grab a cigar and a beer. I assume it's going to be a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So I grab a cigar. It's just kind of a regular Toro cigar. Pop the top on Presidente. I'm sipping it. I'm smoking it. About 15 minutes later, we pull up to the hotel. And I'm getting off the bus and I'm asking one of the guys from the company, like, what do I do? With
Yeah,
this?
what do I do?
He's like, what's a cigar? You smoke
You
it?
smoke it.
I'm like, well, no, I'm in the industry. I'm aware.
Yeah.
And I said, no, like when we go to check in, and they said, you are here as our guest. If there is somewhere on this island you can't smoke, we'll tell you before you get there.
Nice. Wow.
So, I mean, I walked into that cigar like it was the 1950s in America, puffing on my cigar, going, I'd like to check into a room for one, please. Yeah. And it was crazy.
I can imagine.
Wow.
See, the son of the Presidente CEO, whatever, right? He would go up to his uncle's place in Santiago, La Dora. He goes, last time I had brought cigars down, he goes, well, you got to try this. It's from my uncle's private stash. No label on it, right? Just 3 different sizes, 3 different colors, whatever. There was one, I texted him back when I had it because I brought him back here this month. And I was like, bruh, what was in this, man? Because it's like every 15 minutes I had to put it down, take a breather. I was like, this is knocking me on my ass. He goes, oh, that's my uncle's favorite. I'm like, no shit. I'm like, wow.
Did you ever find out what it was?
Oh, I found out what it was. I have it written down somewhere. I'm not going to remember off the top of my head, but oh my Lord. That was the one. Like the other 2, phenomenal smokes.
Yeah.
But that particular
Well,
one.
Aurora does some really good stuff, and they do really good stuff at multiple price points. And that's what I always appreciate about a cigar company, is that they've got something for everybody. If you're looking for an everyday smoke that's under, $8, they've got it. If you're looking for a once a week smoke in the $12 to, $13 range, they got it. If you're looking for a special event cigar that's, 15 to 24, they've got it.
You want to hear something funny? So I had brought a few down, and I handed him one of the KFCs because I was like, I bet you've never had anything like this. He smells it. What the hell is that? I'm like, trust me, it doesn't taste the same way it smells.
Yeah.
He lit it up. He goes, do you have another one? Because I want to bring it to my uncle. He's got to make something like this.
Wow. So I think Corey, he had a question here. What is that, Davidoff? What?
Oh, no, he said Davidoff Escurio
Yep.
is like smoking an OG Saca Liga. So damn good.
Yeah. Those Escurios are kind of the exception to everything else Davidoff being very polite.
Yes.
And
That's the first thing you said when I told you.
100%.
I said, man, I got a Davidoff. You got to try it. Nah, man,
That's
that's
like somebody
yeah,
going,
Connecticut rapper. It's like smoking air.
Try this underground
I
shade.
said, bro.
I'm like, I already know. It's
Yep.
like smoking air. Keep it.
Yep. I said, bro, no.
I'll tell you though, did
This
you ever
is-
smoke the shade in the Suprema size? They're Perfecto?
Is it still the same light color?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I think that smoke's way different than any other shade they produce.
Really?
I just got a much creamier and nuttier flavor out of it.
Wow.
But I haven't seen that Suprema size in
Oh, it's
2 years.
yeah.
I guess it's gone or not. I don't know. But
Who knows?
I mean, sometimes we can't even get answers, right?
Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to open it up to see if anybody else have any more questions for Mr. Joey Weaver here, even from the studio audience or
Yeah,
out
we'll
on
take any
Facebook or even out on YouTube. If y'all have any questions, go ahead and fire them off either for Joey or for myself or for Will. We'd be more than happy to
Yeah, anybody ask anything on?
Nope. The last question was Mrs. Weaver. She said that's my man. So that's enough said on that. You know.
Shout out to Mrs. Weaver.
Yep.
My smoking partner for 20 years.
All right, so,
Nice.
boom. So, all right, we have a question.
Yeah, so when we talk about the 5 or the V or the
Yeah, the 3.5.
3.5.
3.5, what does that signify? Does it mean anything? Is Olivia O? Olivia
Okay, so this is me, and I know Joe
It's
is.
for vagina. O's for orgasm.
and then tampon is for
Yeah,
Period.
all right. To me, it probably represents, and I could be wrong. It probably represents how the cigar is made in terms of what tobacco, the binder, and the filler represents. Because a lot of the V's, for the most part, is all Nicaragua, except for the Special, which is a different wrapper, if I'm not
Is
mistaken.
that the Liga Especial?
Yes,
The ones, yeah.
yes. I think that's the San Andreas wrapper. I could be wrong on that, but I think like your Oliva G's is more of a Connecticut wrapper, and it's more of a lighter smoke. But I could be wrong, so I'm gonna have you chime in.
Well, I know that the Oliva G, I know that we carry them in Cameroon and Maduro.
Okay,
In my mind, the V is kind of their pinnacle. That's their top of the line.
correct,
The Serie V Milanio
correct.
is
Creme de
to
creme.
my knowledge, the creme de la creme
Yep.
of the Oliva offering.
Correct.
And that's what we're having tonight. And 100%, I'm loving this.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
More so than the regular
Yeah.
Oliva. Corey also has a question for Joey.
Okay.
What was your cigar of the year for 2022?
Ooh.
This is a
I
really interesting
forgot.
question because we debate this a lot. Like, so for it to be the cigar of the year, does that mean that it had to come out that year? Or does that mean it was just my favorite that year?
It might just be your favorite.
Your favorite
for
that
year.
Because I'm gonna tell you who made the list, the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure did.
Absolutely.
Once again. Yep.
I mean, because everybody's got their lists. 2022 was a pretty weird year for me because I spent the bulk of it away from the cigar industry
Right,
for a
I
bit.
remember that. Yeah.
So I wasn't as in tune that year.
And we missed you.
I missed everybody. Just wasn't a good fit. I wanted to get back to the
He said 2022 and your favorite, basically.
2022 release.
Yeah,
and your
so
fave.
for
okay.
both.
Okay, so both. So I might catch some heat for this, but I don't think that 2022 was a particularly exciting year for a lot of manufacturers. I just didn't see a lot of people doing new and innovative things.
Okay.
I will tell you that what I smoke, and it might be my current favorite cigar in our humidor at the shop, is the Aganorsa Leaf Validation Series Coroba.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, you're talking about, the Venn diagram of
I
all
got you,
the
Russ.
things that we hit. I mean, it's sub $10.
Okay.
It's that Corojo wrapper that I think Aganorsa does really well. It develops. It's a different cigar at the end than it is at the beginning, and it just builds.
So
and
it's a
builds
nice
and
transition.
all of that.
Okay.
I think that would be the one that's released. My favorite of 2022 is actually the box of Crowned Heads La Imperiosa Coronas that I smoked through.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that La Imperiosa, which is their darker, it's got that baby blue, kind of almost teal
Uh-huh.
wrapper on it.
Okay.
That's a really good one.
All right, so I have another question.
Go ahead.
It is so what was the cigar that we was talking about earlier that was 2 leaves aged in a Scotch barrel?
That's the late hour.
Oh, that was the late hour. Davidoff
the
late
late
hour.
hour, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
So, Douglas had this question. What is the best hidden gem that you would recommend for a seasoned smoker? Medium full or full?
Okay. So I've got a couple. One of them, I'd go back to Aganorsa,
Okay.
Guardian of the Farm Night Watch.
Haven't had that.
Okay. So the Guardian of the Farm series has been around for Aganorsa for a long time. They're all named after the American bulldogs that guard their farms. So there's the Apollo, and my mind's drawing a blank because I think the Apollo is the size that we carry. The Campione and some others, but it's been 2-3 years ago maybe that they released a Night Watch, which is the Maduro version.
Ooh.
That's good and rich. What I like about that one is in the Campione size, it's torpedo, but I'm putting the air quotes around it because it's actually blunt enough that you can still punch it if you want to.
Oh wow!
And I do everything. I mean, I've got my trusty cutter here. I enjoy a V cut on some things. I punch some things. It just kind of depends on my mood. But
it also depends on the gauge. Right?
It depends on the gauge. But I like punching the Campione Night Watch from Aganorsa. That's a good hidden gem for the seasoned smoker. Baker's Chocolate Ridge. I mean, just super rich.
Nice.
Another one that gets overlooked a lot. Well, honestly, I think that the Hoya Antonio gets overlooked some.
Yeah, it does. But let's not talk about it because then we won't be able to get it anymore.
Well, I'll tell you, the Dark Corojo, if you really want that full body experience, the Antonio Dark Corojo is a really good one. The other one that I've got that's a hidden gem that's really budget friendly is the Hoyo, H-O-Y, or Hoya, Hoyo, H-O-Y-O.
Okay.
By AJ, Dark Sumatra.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a nice hidden gem.
Yeah.
Well, Douglas?
Because I love AJ collab with Monte Cristo.
Have you had the new collab with Upman? That's the navy blue.
No.
Dude, for a sub $10 cigar, that thing is money.
I might have to check that out.
Yeah.
And Corey says the GOTF are killer.
GOTF.
Can you give us that in full?
Yeah.
GOTF.
Yeah, he got me on that one.
Going. I'm trying
Yeah.
Get out that fucker. I don't
I heard the GOAT. Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
But those would be my 3 hidden gems that you can find, at least in our shop. And most shops are going to have one of those 3.
Yeah. See, Corey's said Las Calaveras, the 2022.
Oh, Guardian of the Farm. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Guardian Farm. You just talked about
Knocked it and put it out the park. Can't wait to revisit it in a few years.
Which one? Sorry.
The Las Calaveras.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. I picked up 2 when we were in Tennessee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I picked up 2.
Oh, okay. You must have kept them on your...
Obviously,
yeah. Because I was smoking.
If we have to smoke a cigar together, I'm not giving you one of them. Oh, we're about to smoke this. Oh, shit, I already have mine. It's one of those.
Yeah, I could give you a recap.
Yeah.
I will say, to tie in my education and all of this.
Guardian of the Farm.
Yeah, that's it. Guardian of GOTF.
Yeah.
Guardian of the Farm. We're talking about.
Yeah.
So theology and cigars actually go back a long way.
Really?
So, if you came up in school when I did, you might have heard about Mendelian genetics. I think now they're called the Punnett squares, but that's when you make the little squares and say, if mom has blue eyes, which is little b, and dad has brown eyes, which is big B, or big B, little b, what are the odds? Well, Gregor Mendel perfected that with pea plants, but he was a monk, and then decided the pea plants weren't quite as exciting enough and switched to growing tobacco.
Monks are the shit. I'm telling you, with beers.
Well, they got all that time on their hands.
That's right.
They got all that time. Yeah, they got all that.
Back then, there were a few people that could read and
exactly.
had the time to engage in this science.
Exactly.
The other was Charles Spurgeon, who was kind of known as the Prince of Preachers.
Okay.
London Tabernacle, kind of a mega church back in the 1800s when mega churches didn't exist. Really well-known cigar smoker. To the point that it was kind of an issue because people were like, how's the preacher smoking cigars? And one of my favorite stories...
One cigar at a time, but go ahead.
I smoke in moderation.
One cigar at a time.
But he was president of the local smoking club. So they came to pick him up in the carriage, carriage days, big
Yeah.
open carriage.
Yeah.
It was early in the morning. They were all smoking. And he climbed up, Reverend Spurgeon, good morning. He's like, well, aren't you all ashamed of yourselves smoking so early? And he saw a bunch of panicked looks and cigars going over the side of the carriage. And after everybody had kind of thrown theirs away, he reached into his pocket,
And grab one and lit
pulled
it
out
up.
his, cut it, and lit it. And they said, well, Reverend Spurgeon, I thought you said we should be ashamed of ourselves. And he said, no, I asked you if you were, and apparently you were all ashamed. I spoke this without shame for the glory of God.
Love it.
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
And then to go even crazier, Baptists love to be against things. And there was a very famous Baptist named B.H. Carroll. And his portrait was at Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary in Fort Worth. There was a conservative resurgence or conservative takeover, depending on which side of things you're on. And he had a portrait hanging there that had a cigar in his hand.
Uh-huh.
The painting disappeared. When it came back, the cigar had been taken out.
Oh Lord.
They'd had it retouched. The cigar.
Oh wow.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, but like you say, it's crazy. Like you said, the people smoke cigars that was in the religious set and what have you. I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand with some of the spirits too. I mean, I know him to get the names wrong, but I mean, Jack Daniels got his start by being taught by Nathan Nearest Green, who worked at a farm. And the guy, I think his name was Don Cass, who was a preacher too as well.
Yeah, I mean, the story I heard is that Jack Daniels actually kind of bought his distillery from a preacher.
Yeah, that was him. That was him. And
Elijah Craig.
yeah, his first master, his master distillery was Nathan Green or Nearest Green.
And I mean, spirits are kind of like cigars. You can't always separate fact from fiction.
Yeah.
But the story that Elijah Craig tells about their bourbon is that he was a minister. Mm-hmm. And he was the first to use charred oak barrels to age because his barn caught fire. But being a man of the cloth and of meager means, he didn't have the money
And
to
being
go replace.
frugal like yourself.
Yeah.
Didn't have the money to replace the barrels, and just said, "We're gonna roll with it."
Yeah.
And that is apparently the story of how bourbon came to be aged in
Charred
charred
barrels.
new oak barrels.
Wow.
Love that.
Wow. That's a little nugget there for you.
Yeah, that's a nugget for everybody.
Uh-huh.
And the people said,
Boom. Amen.
Somebody sat through some
Well, I
He
tell
served
you.
us that wine.
it's port wine.
We'll take the good stuff.
So communion wine's port wine.
Yes. Yep.
Because it's got to be something that can survive being corked and recorked several times. So it's a fortified one.
Yeah.
Another fun fact is a lot of Catholic churches get a variance from the city to have one sink that's plumbed straight into the earth rather than the sanitary sewer, because in the doctrine of transubstantiation, where the wine actually becomes the blood of Christ,
The blood of Christ.
you don't pour Christ's blood
In the sewer.
So they have to get a variance from the city to have one sink that's plumbed straight into the ground.
Wow.
That was mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that in your pocket and save it for Jeopardy.
There you go. Yeah.
you're talking to the Jeopardy King right now.
Or put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Maybe we need to coordinate a Jeopardy watch party.
Yes,
At the shop one.
absolutely. I'll be
my
there.
God.
I'll be there.
I
Well,
had a cigar that was cigar tobacco and pipe tobacco.
Okay.
A mix.
Yeah.
What was it?
do you remember the name?
I don't know. It was
Man, why do you bring something up like that?
I know exactly the one you're talking about. It had a star on the band.
I was playing golf, so don't tell me.
I don't want to give anybody.
Right.
I don't want to rob anybody's credit or give somebody credit that I should. But I know what you're talking about. It's
Wow.
great smoke.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, to some extent, like the Deadwood series and the Lauretans are kind of pipe tobacco cigars. They're just long filler pipe
Long
tobacco
filler
cigars.
pipe tobacco. Yeah. And I think that's what I love about them, but I can't stand, and I said this on the air many, many times. I can't stand the acids,
Okay.
simply because they
Oh, yeah.
feel too fabricated,
yeah.
too what's the word I'm looking for? Almost mechanical,
Artificial.
artificial taste to it.
Plasticky.
And I used to say, like, you know, somebody asked me, like, well, you like all the deadwoods. Have you ever tried an acid? I was like, I don't want it. I don't like them. Why? I was like, okay, you remember going to prom, kiss your girl on the neck, that flavor? Yeah, that's that. I don't
salty
need that.
perfume.
Salty perfume? I'm like, no, man.
Whatever they use, whatever their infusion process is, I mean, the acids are really good sellers.
They are.
I don't know if it's the same. It used to be the top two demographics for acid smokers were bikers and military.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, that shit put Drew State really on the map.
It really did.
Well,
but then Saka
it did.
came along
Yeah.
and said, you don't make anything for real cigar smokers.
Yeah.
And that's where Liga came from.
Yep.
But you know, the military kind of makes sense to me. Because
But
especially
it's
back when you used to be 18 to smoke.
Yeah.
You're a kid, you're seeing your old NCOs out smoking cigars,
Right.
you want to be a part of that. You
See,
get
but I
something
almost
kind of
thought that
good.
Gurkha was more of a part of that than the acid line.
Could be now.
Because most of the military guys that I talk to, like younger cats,
Okay.
all have Gurkhas.
Really?
They love Gurkha.
That is really interesting.
Probably now, but probably back then.
Then it was...
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it
Now,
changes.
bikers, I
It
don't know.
changes.
Unless they just really fall for that marketing because the acid guy is that guy on the motorcycle with the helmet on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But
That's enough.
Take it from a rider.
Oh yeah, we got a bunch of riders in the
I
house.
mean,
Yeah, we got a bunch of
I
riders in
ride,
here.
I ride, but I don't call myself a biker. I got to know one fat boy. I'm a poser. When the weather's perfect, I get it out.
Yeah, no,
When the
that's,
weather's not, I don't.
Cul-de-sac rider. Look at that.
that's right.
So I was actually,
No one.
I was less than 2 months away from my 21st birthday when I was T-boned off my first motorcycle.
Wow.
Ouch.
I got T-boned
good.
off of a Yamaha V-Star 1100.
Wow.
What's that right there? Man, my battery's low.
Your battery's low? I'll bring your battery.
Yeah.
But
He goes, no, not the Gurkha. Next we'll be talking about Nico again. That, you remember that candy we were talking
Yeah,
about?
well, back then, that was my only vehicle.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, so if it was cold, I rode. If it was wet, if it was raining, I rode, and all of that. Now that I got back into it again, I ride when I want to, not when I have to.
There you go. There you go.
I'm with you on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We've been going for about an hour and a half here, so
That's what happens
yeah,
when you're live.
yeah. Well, look, first and foremost, we want to thank you, Joey, for taking time out of your day to come and visit with us.
No, it's my extreme
Oh,
pleasure. It was
man.
an honor to be here.
Yes.
I've enjoyed myself. I
Man,
can't believe it's
how
already
many
been.
times have I asked you to come down?
Yeah, I know.
Not even to be on air, just to chill.
Yeah.
Finally, it's happened.
Finally, it's happened. Well, hopefully, we just kind of broke the seal on the bottle.
Absolutely. Yo, it definitely be a lot more because I really appreciate you sharing your background, your depth, your knowledge with the cigars. We had some great interactions with some of the studio audience, which was great. A lot of things I didn't know, and obviously there's going to be a lot of things I need to try to expand my palate. And really appreciate the the education on that. I know you probably want to have some closing thoughts and comments too.
Well, I just, like I said, I'm just happy you were finally able to make it down.
Yeah, me too.
You know, thank God we were on the air. We had nice studio audience here tonight.
Yeah.
You know, so thank you.
Yeah,
all.
thank you.
Thank you
Yes.
guys for being
Shout out goes to Mike Rod, Wes, Ron, Aaron, and Jason, all executive producers on this show. Thank you for you guys with your questions. Thank you for just coming out and vibing with us and fellowshipping with us. We do this every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
So again, if you guys out there spread the word, we just two guys that have a passion and a love and appreciation for cigar smoking, also spirits, and we just like to fellowship with people that shares that same like-minded people. All right?
Did we even say that we were drinking Willet?
No, we didn't even say that. We out here drinking Willards. We got some Buffalo Trace going on. We got some Scotch going on. I mean, we got some Ciroc going on. We just having a blast out here today. This was great. First show of the new year for us, so we're gonna have definitely many more to come. We're going to have some fabulous guests lined up for this year. So we are really excited about that.
Fantastic.
Yes. So
I don't want to have
Go
the
ahead.
final word, so I'm going to interrupt you so you
Yes,
can.
yes.
But I will tell you, anybody watching from a retailer's point of view, don't be ashamed about where you are in your cigar journey. Don't be ashamed by what you smoke. All you need to know is what you like and what's good for you.
Yes.
And any tobacconist, any retailer worth anything
Yes.
is going to be able to help you on your journey with wherever you are, with whatever your budget is. This isn't something for just rich old guys
Yeah.
to sit around and talk about their 401ks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is
Exactly.
This is bringing people together. I've met the best people in cigar lounges.
Yes.
And I just enjoy the culture so much, and I just can't thank you enough for the opportunity to come on and hang out with you guys and
Yes.
finally be in the world famous cigar.
Yeah, the world's famous. Also, too, look, before I close it out, can you tell everybody out there where they can find you?
Physically?
You
I mean, you can follow me if you want. I'm
Yeah.
in a black sedan, but it's going to be kind of weird. No, I mean, I'm usually at one of our stores. The one that I'm at the most is the Cigar Shop here in Indian Trail. It's at 14001 East Independence Boulevard in Indian Trail. It's in a strip mall right between an IHOP and an urgent care. We got it all. We got pancakes, inhalers, cigars. We got you covered for the whole day. You can find us there. You can find us online. Our online inventory is available at thecigarshop.com. That runs out of our Myrtle Beach store.
Okay.
And it's the same owners. This is just a mom and pop store that's been successful because of the passion of the owners and their commitment to lounge culture and the people that they are able to recruit and retain. So the Myrtle Beach humidor is probably one of our biggest, if not the biggest.
Okay.
So if you go into one of our other stores and you see something or you don't see something, you think you might like it, find us at thecigarshop.com. Check out our inventory there because that's where that inventory ships from. And they can carry a lot more than we can. If you've ever been into our store, we're the baby humidor in the company.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
We're the smallest humidor.
And
in
that's
our
not
company.
small.
No.
No, I think it's
By no
about
stretch.
it's 775, 800-ish square feet.
Okay.
Humidor, I think.
Okay.
But you're stocked.
Yes.
We're almost overstocked. As a matter of fact, part of it is always being a retailer is always culling kind of what's not selling as well or what doesn't have as much traction to make room for the new stuff.
Yes.
TPE, one of the big trade shows, is coming up at the end of February, so there's going to be new stuff coming out then.
Okay.
So me and Mike, the manager at Indian Trail, are going to be working here in the next couple weeks of seeing what we need to cull from the shelf to make room for the new stuff coming in. So all that to say is keep an eye out because we're going to be blowing stuff out. You can be able to have some deals. And we'll always be able to hook you up, and we're always happy to see you walk in.
Nice. Great.
Awesome.
All right, so we're going to end it there, as we always do.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, we want everybody out there to be happy, to be healthy, to be safe, but more importantly, we want you to be easy. Till next time, enjoy your cigars and have a great day.
Thank you, gentlemen.
That's what put me on.